back in the States, back in Illinois. Again, protesters once again escalating with law enforcement at the Broadview ICE facility right outside of Chicago today. And take a look here at some of the video that we were able to obtain. And you can just see once again clashes happening right outside of that facility. There are signs, abolish ICE, and so much more. And again, just the more of this escalation that we have been seeing. And if you remember, just last week, we saw in the evening hours a lot of aggression by the protesters as well as law enforcement right outside of that facility. And for more on this, I want to go out now to Fox 32 Chicago's Kasey Chronis. We talked last Friday, and now we're back at it again, Kasey, with more on this developing situation out there in Broadview.
Hi, Mike, that's right. And you know, things are much calmer this afternoon compared to last Friday afternoon. Tensions did escalate, as you mentioned, this morning, with 2 people arrested outside of the ICE processing facility here in Broadview. I'll step out of the way so you can take a look at what is happening right now. There are probably only about 24 protesters out here. Honestly, there are more members of the media and security than there are demonstrators right now. Some of those protesters are near the fence that was put up earlier this week by ICE officials. But right now, no ICE agents outside on the roof or on the ground that we can see. Some of these demonstrators are doing some shouting right now, but no real response or reaction just yet from those ICE agents. Now, new this afternoon, Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson released the letter that she sent to the DHS Field Office Director Russell Hott. In it, she wrote that this neighborhood is under siege and that the relentless deployment of tear gas, pepper spray, mace, and rubber bullets not only is harming residents, but also Broadview police officers and firefighters. She is demanding that the additional fencing come down. And this afternoon, again, things are calmer out here, but earlier tensions flared. One woman who was leaving messages tied with ribbon onto the fence explains.
The residue that comes up makes it incredibly difficult to breathe, was coughing profusely, had to rinse my mouth. We had a nurse on site that saw me and made sure that I was okay. There was nothing provoked on our side. From as far as I know, the 3 of us were literally signing on the fence, and we were the direct targets of the shooting. We looked up at the ICE agent, who seemed very amused with himself for what he had just done.
Now, we have learned also this afternoon from the National Lawyers Guild of Chicago that between last Friday and this Friday, there have been 16 demonstrator arrests outside of this ICE facility. That includes those 2 people today. The lawyer I talked with said that most of those people are being released with citations and pending court dates. It's unclear what will happen with those court dates and if charges will come later. Mike?
And Kasey, how would you compare it to last year at this time? You said earlier that there's more media members there now than there has been, but with the amount of protesters that there was last week compared to now, I mean, how much is it a difference right now?
You know, the numbers have significantly decreased at this hour compared to this hour last Friday. Again, there were much more people here earlier this morning, but after that tear gas was deployed, the crowd sort of dispersed. It really does blow through the air, and it does burn the throat, the eyes, the nose. So that sent a lot of people home. Now, time will tell just how many people gather here this evening, because last Friday we saw a little bit of a lull midday, but things picked back up around 9 o'clock.
Kasey Chronis with Fox 32 in Chicago. We always appreciate the updates. Stay safe to you and your crew. We thank you again right here on Live Now from Fox. All right, we want to continue to really just showcase more of the tensions that have been happening. Take a look at this as demonstrators and federal agents clashed during a protest outside a U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement ICE processing center in suburban Chicago today. Take a look at the video there. there of the protesters pushing on this vehicle. Footage shows protesters, including congressional candidate Kat Abaguzla, attempting to block a vehicle from entering the facility gates in Broadview, Illinois. Agents reportedly fired pepper balls and deployed tear gas canisters to disperse the crowd. At the Broadview ICE facility, an agent tried to run dozens of protesters off with an SUV as we walked on a public crosswalk. At least 2 protesters were detained, according to local reports. Protesters have been gathering outside the facility weekly since the Trump administration announced that it would be increasing immigration enforcement throughout Illinois on September 8th. And take a look. I just want to, again, just show you just more of the tensions that have been continuing to fly once again. We were really showcasing some of the video from last week that was really ramping up in the evening hours. But this video just recorded earlier today shows demonstrators and federal agents clashing during a protest outside the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE Processing Center. And you just see just the give and take from protesters and the federal officials. Footage recorded by Brendan Gudenschwager shows agents firing pepper balls, deploying tear gas canisters, and detaining several people outside the facility in Broadview, Illinois. Let's just raise the volume here so you could get a set. Okay, so we're learning no volume here, but we just wanted to, again, showcase just a little bit of more of the video you could see of these canisters and pepper balls being deployed. And it was quite the scene in Broadview earlier today. Of course, we always got you covered on Live Now from Fox. But again, we will keep an eye on what might happen later this evening in Broadview, Illinois. If we do get some new details, we will pass that along to you right here on Live Now.